do it any better than that. They're going to mark the ball between the 2 and the 3 yard line. Donald Driver was downfield after a 55-yard beauty. They put the ball right at the 3, and if you want to talk field position, here's another one to crawl into the skin of Chucky over on the sideline.
Yeah, and in talking with John Gruden yesterday, asking him what's the keys to this ball game, and the first thing that he mentioned is we've got to have better field position. We cannot go 80, 90 yards and score touchdowns. We've got to get one out to the 30, out to the 40, and they haven't been able to do that, and here they got to go to 97 yards.
But you know what's ironic? This offense actually has been really good when starting inside the 20. They're second in the league scoring touchdowns when they start back here, but obviously it's a much tougher situation than if you get better position.
Plus they get more chances doing it, Chris.
Thank you.
On first down, handoff to Pittman. He goes nowhere. You can name the tackler. I don't care who you pick. All of you fans back in Green Bay can come up with somebody. I'll pick Barnett, but he had plenty of friends with him.
Well, and Barnett is a rookie linebacker out of Oregon State, and a guy that they have been raving about for a long, long time. And they wanted to draft a guy who would not only be on the field in first and second downs, but had the skills to be a third down cover guy as well. And he has far surpassed the expectations of this team.
Corner blitz coming from Al Harris. Penalty flag on the play, and Dudley is out in the open. Recently re-signed, but there is a flag on the play.
I tell you what, Joe, that's holding on the Buccaneers in the end zone. It is a safety.
If it's in the end zone and a hold, and now they're going to move the flag outside the end zone, so no safety.
He went back and picked up that flag in the end zone and dropped it back on the 1 yard line. So it is not going to be a safety, but let's take a look, see if we can pick up the hold.
71, offense, half the distance to the goal.
There.
Still second down.
I tell you what, that is really close to being a safety.
That is close, and you know, you watch Kenyatta Walker, he sees the blitz. Al Harris, 31, coming off, and you see you see Kerry Jenkins there just tackle him. They're fortunate that wasn't a safety.
So that wipes out a 40-yard completion to Dudley. Re-signed as a downfield threat for the Buccaneers, and now penalty flags and movement before the snap. And this Buccaneer offense is going backward.
Prior to the snap, false start, 19, offense, half the distance to the goal, still second down.
They got Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, here we go again for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You want to know why this team's 4-5? You're just watching it right now. This is a team that is worse than the NFL as far as penalty yards, 744 on the season. To give you some comparison, Green Bay just 329 yards. I don't care if you're world champs. I don't care who you are. You cannot win games beating yourself the way that they have.
We saw this time after time last week in Carolina for the Tampa Bay team. Second down and 12, and hello. This is becoming laughable as Kerry Jenkins goes firing out.
Well, and Kerry Jenkins had a tough game.
71, offense, half the distance to the goal, still second down.
Kerry Jenkins had a tough game last week against Carolina, going up against Chris Jenkins, and he's off to another tough start today.
Good job, though, by Brad Johnson. Even if your guy jumps, what is it, 6 inches? What difference does it make? Try and get them to jump.
Buccaneers are going to end up out in the parking lots in old Tampa Stadium.
They'll be over in that Yankee Stadium.
Michael Pittman on the carry. Diggs on the stop. No gain. Somewhere over there by a Ford Explorer. The ball is right at the 1, and it's third down and 12.
Obviously, your first thought here is get 4 yards for your punter.
Play action. Buying a little yardage, it's Pittman. And it's time for the Buccaneers to punt. Hawthorne on the stop, a gain of only 7. And Brad Johnson is fairly complected, but his face is a little red coming off that field. They have got to be thoroughly frustrated by the way they've come out of the gate in a game that they have got to have.
And you know, Joe, I think he's already thinking about KGB coming around his backside. Really no pressure to speak of there, and he moved out to his right, knowing that that's where their best pass rusher's coming from.
How about New Orleans coming all the way back and beating Atlanta in overtime? Tupa. They've needed him already. Another good punt with Chapman back inside the 40. And forced out of bounds in midfield. Chapman on the return. 55-yard punt, a 13-yard return, and we will look at the Green Bay Packers offense and look at some of the faces underneath those helmets and up front. Brett Favre will tell you that Clifton and Tauscher are almost back, not all the way back, to where they were last year before the injuries. Amon Green and the kind of year he's having, #1 in the NFC with 1,063 rushing yards. He's also the Packers' #1 receiver. He also has a tendency to put the ball on the ground. Amon Green running to the right side. Keeps those legs moving. And we keep it moving out to Los Angeles. Another game break. Here's JB.
Hey, fellas, take a look how the Saints scored the last 20 points of the ball game to win it in overtime. John Carney booting that 36-yard field goal. They win it 23-20. Unbelievable. Saints come back to win it. Back out to Joe Buck.
Big win by New Orleans, keeping pace in that division, and the way that they got behind early in that game. What a job coming back.
Carolina on top of the South at 8-2 with their win over Washington today. As Davenport runs right, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Ellis Wims on the tackle. When we look at this Tampa defense, still 6th in the NFL in overall defense. They are #7 against the pass. They have 16 interceptions as a group. But all anybody wants to talk about is the way they have melted late in the 4th quarter, trying to protect a lead or keep a game tied. 3rd and 3. And before the play got underway, flags and whistles.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap, 58, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now, Joe, how can you have prior to the snap an illegal snap? Can you explain that one to me?
That's a good question.
You're the smartest guy up there. Come on, give me some.
No, I am not. You, sir, what are you, an academic Hall of Famer from college? What are you? Go ahead.
I don't know.
Watch this. This is what it is.
Here we go. That's how you do it. Let's watch this. An illegal snap before the snap. I got it now.
Completely illegal. Can't do that. For those of you just joining us, we're going to take a break. It's the end of the 1st quarter. It was 3 and out on each side at the beginning. Then Green Bay got great field position, marched right down the field. A matchup of 2 4 and 5 teams. Each side has to have it. Green Bay, Tampa Bay. 2nd quarter coming up. Packers on top by 7. On 3rd down and 8, we begin the 2nd quarter. Favre out of the backfield, incomplete. Fisher, the intended receiver. And it was Wansley waiting there for him if he brought it in. So there's a stop by the Tampa Bay defense. Green Bay with good field position. They go 3 and out.
Well, and now Tampa Bay, they've just got to get a good return here off of this punt return to try to reestablish field position, because right now Green Bay could pin them down again inside the 20-yard line.
And it looked like Tony Fisher maybe dislocated a finger or something. He had to take himself off the punt team there.
Waiting deep is Barlow. Barlow will let it go, and it's into the end zone, and John Gruden will breathe a sigh of relief. 49-yard punt. Out to the 20 it goes. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense trying to get something going. Down by Siete. Tomorrow, Jim will walk into an insurance office somewhere in the Tampa, Florida area and write somebody a variable policy. But right now, he's got dolls taped to his shoulder pads.
Which one was his?
That ball comes out. It's a loose ball. Green Bay says they have it, and they do. Turnovers, which have killed Green Bay so far to this point in the season. A killer one for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as it's knocked out of the hands of Brad Johnson, and the ball will be at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and Green Bay entered this game not ranked very high as far as creating turnovers. Last year they led the league, and this is a big one right here. You see Kabir Bajabiamila come in and knock it out, and then Nick Barnett's the one that able to come up with it.
And that's what Sherman talked about. They came in having forced only 2 turnovers in their last 4 games. They're -8 in the turnover ratio at this point last year, +15. But they get a big one here. Up by 7. Favre, plenty of time, and he dumps it off to Amon Green down to the 15.
That's one of the things Mike Sherman talked about yesterday, was that we just have got to be able to get our hands on the ball, create turnovers, and then we've got to protect the ball offensively. And that's really been the downfall of this team in the games that they've lost. And here today, getting that turnover and shortened field against a good defensive team. And this team in Green Bay is outstanding in the red zone.
The extra tight end package, that's Martin in motion for Green Bay on 2nd down. Favre throws it away, and he ends up on his back, and Warren Sapp, who has sacked Favre 8 times in Sapp's career, is the one who put him on his back.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when we did talk with Brett, and him saying that it's really not so much the sacks that are disruptive to me. It's when I'm continuously getting hit and getting knocked to the ground. He said that's what's troubling, and I'm hoping to be able to avoid that in this game today.
But that was a great play by Brett, just getting that thing out of there. It's 2nd down and short. Just come back now. 3rd down, you still have a chance. Even if you only come up with 3 here, it's still a win.
It outside. Shelton Quarles came up to make the stop, shy of 1st down yardage. What a play by Quarles to come off a block, make the hit, drop Green about a yard, maybe even less than a yard, shy of a 1st down.
Yeah, it was a power play, and Amon Green was looking for a cutback lane, and as he's moving down the line of scrimmage looking for that cutback, the Bucs do a great job of clogging up the lanes, and then David Martin's able to get just enough of Greg Spires in order for Amon to get to the outside, but Shelton Quarles was there at the end.
But that tells you all you need to know about the new look Packers offense. 3rd and 3, a running down now for the Packers.
31-yard try is drilled by Ryan Longwell, who's now 12 out of 13 kicking field goals this season. So the turnover turns into 3 points, and the Pack on top by 10.
Sometimes in the face of insurmountable odds, unlikely heroes are born. As precious seconds ticked away, you took an impossible amount of data and turned it into something impossibly good. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Victory is yours.
Real comfortable jeans.
Only one truck has the strongest, toughest frame of any full-size pickup. That truck is the new Ford F-150. It has a fully boxed frame with crossbars welded through the side rails, all of which gives you the highest payload. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
When Lisa's elected class president, school will never be the same.
I call a student strike.
Are you crazy?
These are little kids, so take out your tiny baton.
It's the episode the school board doesn't want you to see.
This is the kind of troublemaking I expect from your brother. Cool, a blank check for mayhem.
The Simpsons, all new, part of a full hour a day tonight on Fox.
I think it's going to be really interesting over the next 13:04 leading into halftime to see how this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team reacts. Coming in with a record of 4-5, they've got 15 total yards of offense. They're down 10-0. And the kick is a short one taken by Barlow outside the 10. Just looking for any sort of a return and decent field position out to the 30. That's where the Buccaneer offense will start with it. How patient will John Gruden be with the game plan? And Brad Johnson coming off that fumble. Back to work, down by 10.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Your boss expects a report in 1 hour. But it's a gorgeous 74 degrees outside. So, you handle it like a true professional. With a laptop powered by Centrino, Intel's mobile technology, you can work wirelessly in thousands of places, even Bryant Park, under your favorite tree. Intel Centrino mobile technology.
Mom! Hey, Mom, I'm out of here.
You're a two-car family, and you're one car short. Now, your State Farm agent can help with information on auto loans and leases, as well as competitive rates on auto insurance. Talk to your agent today. We live where you live.
Whose mom's driving next week?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Well, you can talk all you want about injuries across this offensive line for the Buccaneers, and it is something to pay attention to. Cledius Hunt for the Packers said we're going to have a breakout game this week against this makeshift offensive line. Thomas Jones is in the backfield, and he gets it on a toss running left, has some room to run, has great speed, and down the sideline. Thomas Jones all the way down inside the 10, and were it not for Cozy Coleman being in his way, he may have trucked all the way to the end zone.
Well, that's one thing Thomas Jones provides this offense is he gives them some speed, which is something they don't really have. And sometimes you just call the perfect play. The Green Bay Packers bring Sharper down, and he's going to blitz from the left side. They run the toss sweep to the left, away from the blitz. A missed tackle there by Al Harris. And then Thomas Jones is off and running into the secondary.
As you watch the replay, the Bucs are already at the line, so they are hurrying it up a bit. And the handoff is to Jones again. Guys, the Buccaneers are just looking for some sort of spark offensively, and the reason why it's Jones right now is because of his speed. I mean, their closest guy to a big playmaker on offense is Juravicius. They couldn't wait to get him back, and McCardell's even slowed by a bad hamstring.
And Juravicius isn't even 100%, Joe. And the reason that Thomas Jones hasn't played more is because when he has been in the game, in recent games, he has put the ball on the ground. So they're starting to give him more opportunities because they need that spark.
Jones still in the lineup as Johnson fires over the middle. There's Juravicius, a fan favorite here, and he is down to the 5.
Joe Juravicius, if you remember back to the opening day against the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night, made 2 of the most spectacular catches you'll ever see for touchdowns, and really has been a total non-factor because of the injury since. and just his presence on the field, and more than anything, his brain on the field. He's a veteran guy. This is not a one-on-one beat your man kind of offense. This is a scheme offense, and he knows how to get open.
It's 3rd down and goal. Over the middle, the pass is behind Pittman, incomplete. And Pittman was popped by Sharper.
This offensive line has been much maligned over the last few weeks, but considering all the changes that they've made, they've actually done a relatively good job. And on that particular play, they do a good job of picking up the blitz. Marcus Anderson, the safety, trying to come up inside. It's blocked up. And Brad has an opportunity to get the ball into Pittman's hands.
Gramatica only 7 out of 13 in field goal attempts this season. 24-yard try. The Bucs are on the board. So the long run by Thomas Jones set up a 1st and goal. The Buccaneer offense stalls from there. It's a 7-point game here in Tampa.
We didn't just give the new Ford F-150 more horsepower. We gave it the most low-end torque. Why did we push farther than anyone else? So you could do more than anyone else. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
At a time when endless forms and phone calls can come between doctors and patients, one company is bringing them back together. WebMD. More than 250,000 physicians use WebMD to determine insurance coverage, write prescriptions electronically, locate charts, and settle claims with 1,100 health plans. In countless ways, WebMD is helping doctors and patients to reconnect, and in the process, helping to redefine modern medicine. WebMD, modern medicine.
This Friday, the cat is out of the bag. Mike Myers, The Cat in the Hat, rated PG. Fox Tuesday brings you a special hour of comedy. That 70s show, followed by The Simpsons.
His cute little hands can't even fit around my neck.
Then, on an all-new 24, to protect his country, Jack Bauer will sacrifice the one thing he has left, himself.
You'll be a fugitive. I understand, Mr. President. Whoa! This would be my last assignment.
Remember Bauer told you he's lying!
Open the cell blocks now.
Do it now!
An all-new 24. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Buccaneers are on the scoreboard, down by 7 now, thanks in large part to a 61-yard run by Thomas Jones, the longest of his career. Eventually ran into his own teammate, Cozy Coleman, downfield, and the Bucs could not punch it in. This is Najee Davenport. Good return by Davenport. Gramatica's in his way, not for long. And from behind, Davenport is brought down as he got to the 40 and beyond. They'll mark him at the 39. A 56-yard return, and Barnes finally on the stop for the Buccaneers.
Special teams once again. And when do you think the last time Martin Gramatica was in a tackling drill? I mean, that was pathetic. He comes up.
Not against someone 245 pounds anyway.
He wasn't even going to give this an effort. Just a great job by Najee Davenport. It looked like it was all tied up. Bounced it to the outside. And Martin did that. And the team did that.
So a 56-yard return. And you look at the difference in field position. Wide open is the far side of the field for Amon Green. And he's brought down right at the marker by Wansley.
One thing you have to be careful about with the Green Bay Packers is they will cut it back and they will cut underneath. That time coming on the blitz from the outside was Dwight Smith, I believe. He has contained on that play, and he just let Amon Green run right inside him. He's just got to squeeze that down tighter. Huge hole.
They're going to bring out the chains to see if it's enough for a first down. And it is inches short. Second down for the Packers.
going back to Najee Davenport and the return that he had, you wouldn't think a guy that size can run the way that he was able to, but he actually has the longest run from scrimmage for this Packers offense at 76 yards. So as big as he is, he was a backup fullback going into last season, and then he got the move to tailback and actually had a couple starts when Ahman Green went down, but he's got some speed to him.
Second down and inches. That big backfield behind Favre when they hand it off to Ahman Green. Well, these Packers are doing some blocking, opening up huge holes, a gain of 7, first down, and out to JB for a game break in Los Angeles.
Hey, Joe, this is how we used to draw it up in the sand lot. Take a look. Matt Hasselbeck back, decides to take it himself. Hit hard, fumbles the ball, goes into the end zone, but guess what? Corn Robinson is there for the recovery. Touchdown, Seattle, 21-7. And then Dante Culpepper against Oakland, picked off by Philip Buchanan. He takes it back 64 yards to pay dirt. Oakland on top by 4. Joe, Troy, Chris, and Pam.
JB thanks. First down, Green Bay. Ahman Green again. And why not? The Bucs haven't stopped him yet. Down to the 17, a gain of 6.
I'll tell you what, you watch Ahman Green, and I don't know that there's a runner in football that is as patient as what he is when he's running with the ball. You watch him, and it doesn't look like there's anything there. He makes a move. Anthony McFarland, he can't get to him. He breaks tackles. This guy is one of the most complete backs that there is in the game. And as we talked about, the only downfall of this guy is he has a propensity to put the ball on the ground.
Second down and 4, Davenport. Quarles on the backside, coming up his back after a gain of only 2. And that will bring up third down as Davenport got it to the 15.
It's hard to know if William Henderson is hurt or if Nick Lucci is just getting more opportunities, but there's no question after our conversation with Ahman Green, he is much more comfortable with William Henderson in the game. He says, I know when William Henderson is going towards his guy, that guy is blocked. I don't even think about him. I go to the next level. I don't get that same feeling with Lucci.
Third down and 2. Pass is incomplete. Good coverage on Donald Driver. Wansley, who had a big game a week ago in Carolina with a couple of interceptions and a touchdown, has had to play more after the Bucs lost Brian Kelly.
Well, he's gotten better. He has improved, and he still gave him the inside. He gave Donald Driver the inside, the opportunity to get in there on that slant. But his makeup speed was pretty good and was able to defend the play.
First thing I'd do if I were the wide receiver there, I'd go back and say it's time for a slant and go. This kid is jumping all over my first move. Time for a slant and go.
Longwell tries a 33-yarder, and again he's good. He has missed only once all season. And so the Pack get those 3 points right back. 10-point lead, Green Bay, under 8 to play in the first half.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
Okay, contestants, you have to make your way from Maine to California. Oh, without cash, checks, or credit cards. Bye-bye.
The Visa check card is accepted at millions of places across the country, which is why millions of people rely on it.
Let me borrow your bike. No. Lend me the bike. No.
The Visa check card to get you in, out, and on your way.
Well, these 3 made it, but where's our other contestant?
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
And now with Sprint, unlimited night minutes instead of starting at 9, start at 7. And your calls are clear. Wait till I tell them about the nationwide network.
Now with Sprint, on any new service plan, you can get 2 more hours of weeknight calling.
Fox
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
That clinking sound that you hear, the champagne glasses of Nick Bonacani and Don Shula and all the members of those 72 Dolphins.
Zonka, Kick, all the guys.
As the Kansas City Chiefs lost for the first time today at the hands of who else? The Cincinnati Bengals. Another crazy day around the NFL. I mean, you can't pick these games. Virtually impossible. This is Barlow. Good return by Barlow out to the 35-yard line. So we'll take a break as John Gruden gets what he wants and what the Bucs need. A decent kick return and pretty good field position as they trail by 10.
Today we salute you, Mr. Way Too Much Cologne wearer. Like a bullhorn, your cologne announces your arrival 4 blocks before you get there.
Here he comes now.
Here a splish, there a splash. You don't stop till every square inch of manhood is covered.
Everywhere a splish splash.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Way Too Much Cologne wearer.
Way too much cologne wearer.
See anything?
Hold up.
Bingo. Down.
That's one way around holiday blackout dates. The Capital One Miles One card is a better way. Fly any major airline anytime with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet? I know where you live.
Of all the innovations of the past 100 years, arguably the greatest are the forward pass and the ability to catch the forward pass. Introducing the Canon Digital Rebel, a 6.3 megapixel SLR with the revolutionary Digic chip and CMOS technology. The game has changed. The Digital Rebel, the culmination of 68 years of Canon know-how.
In 2 weeks, Bernie is after Homer.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
When Bernie Mac follows The Simpsons on Sundays.
My favorite day of the week.
Starting 2 weeks from tonight on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Larry Bechtel, the offensive line coach, sitting with his guys over there on the Green Bay bench. All fired up. Said some stuff last year after the sap play on Clifton. And again before the snap, there was movement. This is going to cost Tampa Bay 5 yards again.
And it's not just John Gruden rolling his eyes right now.
Prior to the snap, false start, 19, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Second time for Keyshawn Johnson already. But I guarantee you all those defensive guys over there are doing the same thing. Here's Keyshawn up top. The defensive guys are saying, guys, just don't beat yourself. Just take a shot. Just start the play on offense.
Now they throw another flag, and it's again procedure against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
False start, 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So Keyshawn Johnson has been flagged twice. He put his home up for sale this past week. He's moving too soon.
Might be a few of them putting their homes up for sale. They keep playing like this.
Well, and it's inexcusable at any time, particularly when you're playing at home. They're not even dealing with crowd noise.
On first down and 20, out to Keyshawn Johnson. Gets some of those yards back. That'll bring up a second down and 7 after a gain of 13. Al Harris on the stop. And we are going to have the hurry-up offense by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so they do go to it early.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about it, why they don't go to it a little bit sooner, but I do think that this is good. I mean, they seem to be sleepwalking through this right now, and maybe this will kickstart them a little.
Play action on second down to the sideline. The pass is caught. That's Keenan McCardell. Forced out, a yard shy of a first down. Let's check in with JB on a game break.
Rough start, Joe Buck, for Dante Culpepper of the Vikings. Take a look here. Hit by Napoleon Harris. Fumbles the ball. Recovered by Oakland's Rod Coleman. Zach Crockett takes it across for his 5th touchdown of the season. That's team leading. Oakland is on top 14-3. Back to Joe Buck.
JB, thanks. It's 3rd down and 1 here.
The Vikings really stumbling now. If the Packers can come out of here with a win, this thing really gets knotted up.
2 games behind at the moment, right up the middle. And there's Michael Pittman, who hits that hole so hard. Sharper on the tackle, and a first down for the Buccaneers. Some of the early game headliners in this Week 11 around the NFL. Donovan McNabb is staying hot. He kept preaching patience that it would come around. And Rudy Johnson, 22 carries, 165 yards with Dillon on the bench, and Muhsin Muhammad 9 catches as they get him involved in the offense in Carolina. Another good work by Jake Delhomme, the quarterback of the Panthers, and wrestled down by Diggs as Pittman after a gain of 8.
I'll tell you why I really like this for the Buccaneers. I was preaching for it last week, and they got into it late in the game, and they got hot. But anytime you go into the 2-minute offense, it forces the defense to make their calls at the line of scrimmage, too. And you've got a young kid, Nick Barnett, a rookie in there playing middle linebacker. It is just to your advantage. You have a veteran quarterback in Brad Johnson. Just keep firing it. Let him make the calls. Let him beat up the defense.
2nd down and 2. To the sideline, it's Cook out of the backfield, a first down catch by the fullback.
Well, let's not forget that this drive began with them overcoming a 1st and 20, which is a great job of this offense. They had the penalties that set them back, and now they're starting to move the football and get into a little bit of rhythm, and they're doing a nice job on that backside on Kabir Bajabiamila with Kenyatta Walker, and then he's getting some help along the way.
So much better. They slid that way. He took an outside set because he knew the guard would come over to help him. That's what he wasn't doing earlier. He wasn't allowing his help to help him.
And that guard is Mahan, as Kerry Jenkins has been benched here in the first half. A toss to Jones running left. And blowing up that play was Niall Diggs. No gain.
Yeah, Niall Diggs, he has been the starting strong side linebacker since his first season with the Green Bay Packers. And when Nate Wayne left and went to Philadelphia, Niall Diggs then made the switch to the weak side, and it's allowed him to become more of a playmaker. And the last 2 games, he's really starting to get more and more comfortable within that role, and he's starting to make the plays that they had gotten accustomed to seeing from Nate Wayne.
The Buccaneers started with their best starting field position of the day. Then 2 procedure calls made it 1st and 20. And now here they are, 2nd down and 10. Inside the Green Bay 40. That throws too high. Incomplete with Jones, the intended receiver. 3rd and 10 coming up.
That's just an inexperienced guy running a route as far as I'm concerned. Thomas Jones was going up against a zone defense. You have an arrow route. But Troy, you know as well as I do, when you come down inside and it's just a zone, there's no reason to arrow back out. Just stop. Catch the football. He runs right back into the coverage.
So the pass incomplete, 3rd down and 10. And Jones stays in the game, lined up behind Brad Johnson. Pass is caught. Another fantastic catch. Now they say incomplete as the ball came out, and McCardell is going to call for his sideline to throw the red challenge flag. He had it, then lost it. And instead of a first down around the Green Bay 20.
Maintained possession all the way through the catch. The ball came out when he hit the ground. Incomplete.
Yeah, that's the rule. You've got to maintain possession when you go to the ground. And right there, clearly, the ball comes out. So, therefore, it's not a completion. But I'm surprised that they were even able to try to fit that ball in there. They were in a cover 2 coverage. Green Bay and Antoine Edwards was so wide, and yet they still had room there along the sideline to try to fit one in.
I tell you what, he unloaded on McCardell. Give him credit. That's a big-time shot to knock that football out of there.
Would have been an 18-yard completion and a first down. Instead, it's time for another Tom Tupa punt.
You didn't get that other foot down either. They would have had to rule it a force out for it to have been complete anyway.
Fair catch called for and received by Chapman. He takes it in. They will mark it down at the 9. That's where the Pack will have it as they lead it by 10.
Oh, I should have gotten fajitas.
Ooh, fajitas.
Taco Bell's Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito. It'll make you regret getting anything else.
Should have gotten me fajitas.
Fajitas. Sizzling marinated carne asada steak and tasty fajita veggies. All wrapped in a flour tortilla and grilled to go.
Should have gotten fajitas.
Taco Bell's Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Nothing beats the sizzle when you think outside the bun.
From the studio that brought you Pirates of the Caribbean comes the next great ride. Welcome to the Haunted Mansion.
You know they have dead people in the backyard.
On November 26th, the ultimate holiday thrill ride begins. Eddie Murphy.
Dark spirits come forth.
Wait till I leave before the dark spirits come out.
The Haunted Mansion.
You have very beautiful children, Miss Ellis. I kicked in some chromosomes, too.
Rated PG.
The new Braun Free Glider automatically dispenses a protective shaving conditioner, reducing the risk of abrasion, giving a clean, close shave. Braun, designed to make a difference.
Jim Falso told them that if they play like they've been playing, he is just going to quit. Well, that's not the approach to take. Don't quit. Fire somebody.
Do you have one that's nice looking, really about mid-30s?
There's no doubt.
I just want somebody to take care of me.
In case you missed it, that's what happened today on the one and only Fox NFL Sunday, America's #1 rated pregame show. Just fire someone. Troy?
Yeah.
Just fire them.
That's the Jimmy I know.
How about them Cowboys?
Jimmy was known to fire a few folks. And then he got fired.
3 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in this first half as Rice flips to the other side. The league leader in sacks at the start of the day, and it's Amon Green. John Lynch on his back. Gain of 5. What's coming up next week? Across the NFL, we will be in the land of Troy. Panthers at the Cowboys, a big matchup early. The Cowboys play tonight. They play New England. And the last half of the day, the Bears at the Broncos, Rams at Arizona.
I'm going to have to roll out the cot again for you next week.
You are. And I appreciate that hospitality.
Hey, nothing but the best for you, my man.
On second down, 2nd and 5. Favre airs it out. He hasn't done this much this season. Javon Walker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a big possession right here for both these teams. I mean, if Green Bay does not get the first down here and then they're forced to punt, Tampa Bay is going to get the ball with good field position with plenty of time on the clock to go down and try to come away with points prior to this half. This is going to be a big 3rd down.
You ever think you'd see a Brett Favre team, though, that had as much trouble throwing the ball deep as this one? I mean, just really no threat at catching a long ball. Last week, probably as close as they've ever come.
Yeah, and I mean, not one guy on this squad has had a 100-yard receiving game. That tells you a little bit about their ineffectiveness throwing the football this season.
Timeout called for by the Green Bay Packers. They'll talk about a big 3rd and 5 coming up.
Next. This holiday season.
I said next. This is not the DMV.
If you're looking for a movie with warmth.
Every single thing about you is ugly.
Cheers.
Sweet Jews for Jesus.
And goodwill towards men.
Get him out of here.
What do you mean, get him out of here?
Got some lip on you, midget.
Yeah? Well, these lips were on your wife last night.
Keep looking.
It's not real.
Well, it was real. I got sick and all the hair fell out.
How'd you get sick?
I loved a woman that wasn't clean.
Oh, no.
Bad Santa. Rated R. In theaters Wednesday, November 26th.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
I
Absolutely.
He helped me pick this up.
This holiday, how can you possibly thank the woman who always believed in you? A Kay Jewelers 3-stone diamond necklace would be a great start. And you can be assured of 2 things. First, that every Kay diamond is hand-selected for exceptional beauty. And second, that she'll absolutely love it.
Can I give you folks a lift?
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
3:08 left. Tampa Bay with all 3 of their timeouts. Green Bay now with 2 after they took one here. That's a look at our flying Fox camera, which is hovering and on pulleys and ropes and everything else, making its way downfield. We have that with us today. It's 3rd down and 5.
Here we go, defense, 3rd.
Simeon Rice starts at left end. Boy, he's ready to come. 3rd down and 5. Favre throws, and the pass is behind Driver. Time to punt. Wansley on the coverage. Driver had left him, but the pass was too far behind Donald Driver. And on comes Josh Bidwell.
Well, that time Tampa Bay comes up in a cover 1, man-to-man coverage, and Donald Driver, they're trying to run the fade stop, and Brett Favre trying to put it on the back shoulder there. He just doesn't get it up the field enough, but it was good to see Monty Kiffin have the confidence in these guys to come up and challenge these receivers.
Barlow is smacked. Oh, man. Ferguson downfield to make the stop. 43-yard punt, nothing on the return, thanks to Ferguson. We go back to last week in the tunnel area at Lambeau Field. Brett Favre and Matt Kenseth. He is the Winston Cup champion and a huge Green Bay Packer fan. The 2 traded helmets. And don't forget, coming this February, NASCAR returns to Fox for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills, bumper-to-bumper racing and excitement. You got Kenseth, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. lead the world's best drivers when NASCAR returns to Fox this February.
All right, no more excuses about field position. The Buccaneers have it. Let's see what they can do with it.
Starting from just shy of their own 43. Big rush, and it's Hunt. Cledius Hunt with a sack all the way back to the 30. They're going to mark him down at the 32 as Cledius Hunt, who said they're going to have a breakout game this week, comes up with a big sack.
And all Cledius Hunt has heard all season long is what a disappointment that he's been. In fact, that's one of the main reasons why they brought in Grady Jackson last week. But boy, he came off the ball there and showed a lot of the same things that he showed a year ago, which is why he got the contract this offseason.
And right now the Bucs are just dying at left guard. It doesn't matter who they put in there. Kerry Jenkins, Sean Mahan, nobody is getting anything done at the left guard position.
A lot of time running off the clock, 2:15 and counting. They hand it to Jones. He goes backward. A loss on that play of 1. And this crowd is getting restless, and they have seen enough from this Buccaneer offense. Now a timeout is called for. And without even looking, I'm going to guess it's called for by the Green Bay Packers. And it is Green Bay. They used their second timeout, hoping to get the ball back in the hands of Brett Favre.
And it was Sean Mahan again that just simply could not get the job done. He's getting blown straight back into the running play. And I don't care if you're Brad Johnson, Brett Favre, who it may be, right here. Watch the pressure. Just taking him, driving him right back into the play. You can't do anything. You can't play offense like that.
Well, now we talked about Tampa Bay getting a chance to try to go down and get some points, but because of that sack by Cledius Hunt, you could tell that the Bucs were just trying to run out the clock. Obviously, Green Bay calls the timeout. Now they're hoping to get an opportunity for the ball in good field position to take it down.
Typically, it's Oben, Coleman, Wade, Whittle, and Walker, left to right on that offensive line. Now it's Walker. Jenkins started. Wade, Coleman, and Cornell Green because of injuries. Pump fake, buying all kinds of time, and down the middle of the field for Juravicius. It's out of his reach, and the pass is intercepted. That's Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, all the way down the field, and like a punt, the ball will be marked down at the 24-yard line. 45 yards on the punt/throw, and they may review this. That ball came out. Green Bay has it for the moment.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
At Miller, we brew great tasting beer because you can get in line and take what they give you, or you can make your own choice. Miller, good call.
Minivan manufacturers love to brag about how large an object their vehicles will carry, but most of us usually deal with objects the size of groceries. Freestar Storage Well does a great job of containing small objects like that. Without this well, you're going 45 miles an hour, get after the brakes, you're slowing down, but your can of cream corn's still going 45. This is just one more innovation that proves that Freestar is a very smart vehicle.
The all-new Ford Freestar. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Because that last play started with 2:04 left on the clock, if this play was going to be reviewed or challenged, it would have to be a coach's challenge. Even though right now there's 1:54 left on the clock. That call could have gone either way, but I think both sides are happy with the result. Green Bay will take it with one timeout left. 1:54 on the clock. Already up by 10. And the ball at their own 24. And each side is pointing to the other.
Prior to the snap, false start, 62, offense.
Well, they mark off the penalty. Let's go to James Brown for a game break.
Hey, fellas, Detroit has lost 20 straight on the road. Bobby Ingram wants to make it 21. This is his second touchdown of the half. An 83-yard punt return, 35-7, still in the first half. Back.
Now, JB, I want you to really sell those Bengals highlights at halftime.
Simeon Rice starts this play at left end. First down and 15. Carr setting up a screen pass. Ahman Green, and it's well played by the Tampa Bay defense. Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, thinks that this Green Bay team is the best screen team in the league because, in his words, those offensive linemen do not miss blocks downfield.
And how many times do you see two offensive linemen down trying to make a block on a screen? There's only one defender and both guys miss. You don't see that with this Green Bay offensive group.
Well, Mike Wall, the guard's a former wide receiver.
Second down and 9. Quick throw to Ferguson. Lurches forward out to the 25. Third down coming up. Ivy on the stop.
The Bucs may well take a timeout now. 3 timeouts, and why not? Well, you know, maybe that's the difference. Maybe they don't have the faith in this defense that they've had in seasons past. I've got to believe that last year, in this exact same situation, John Gruden would have taken a timeout.
And I think this crowd is starting to sense it, wondering why they're letting Green Bay let the clock wind down.
Wow. Well, I think it's as much the defense as it is the offense. You know, I don't know how much confidence he has in his offense being able to do anything with it if they do get it back.
Third down and 9. Favre guns it, and it's out of the reach of Ferguson. Penalty flag on the play. And they're going to call offensive pass interference. It's on Green Bay. and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, now, though, instead of having...
89, offense. Penalties decline, 4th down.
Now, instead of having a minute to work with for Brad Johnson, now you have 28 seconds. I just... You know, this is a game for it all in many ways for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you're not going to have faith in your defense to make a stand there, I don't know.
Not only a push-off by Ferguson, but a little grab of the face mask on his way by. Awful punt. Shank City. And great field position will be the result for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at midfield.
Great play by Green Bay. They're just letting it tick down. That is so smart by the Green Bay Packers special teams. They must have taken at least 6 seconds off the clock with nobody sitting there trying to touch the football.
So 14 seconds remaining, but with 3 timeouts left, maybe 2 shots at trying to get the ball into field goal range for Martin Gramatica. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league on another weird day across the NFL. The Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats.
You know what that is, Joe? A lot of stripes on the helmets there. You know what I mean, for the Bengals? Knock off that undefeated team.
Just leave it.
They're going to be a lot of good highlights at halftime.
14 seconds remaining. 3 timeouts left for the Buccaneers. Over the middle, Keyshawn Johnson, and they'll spend a timeout. 8 seconds left. The ball is resting right now at the 38. It would be a 55-yard field goal try from this point, so they'll try to get a few more yards to make it a bit easier on Gramatica, who has been not good this season.
Well, they've got time for it. They've either got to catch the ball and get out of bounds, or if they catch it inbound, every player in that huddle has to know that they can't afford to run down the field with the ball. They've got to get on the ground right after the catch and call timeout and give themselves an opportunity to even attempt the field goal.
Gramatica's career long is 55 yards. That line right there, they're right on it, is at the spot right at the outer edge of field goal range for Gramatica. That's Keyshawn Johnson, gets it down inside the 30 using a timeout, and that was well played by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The ball will be marked down the 29-yard line, and they are well within field goal range for Gramatica, who is only 8 out of 14 this season trying field goals.
Yeah, there's nothing automatic right now with Martin Gramatica, but what a heads-up play by Keyshawn Johnson, knowing exactly what he had to do and getting as much yardage as he could, and then going down and calling the timeout.
Gramatica is only 3 out of 9 beyond 26 yards this season. This would be a 47-yard try.
I saw him making them from 58 in pregame warm-up, but he's taking a big deep breath on this one. He knows this one is a must. Get this Bucs team a little momentum going in at the half.
Trying to make it a 7-point game at the half. This will be the final play of the half, barring a defensive penalty. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. So Gramatica, who has had a rough season, drills the field goal of 47 yards. That makes it a 7-point Green Bay lead at the intermission. The Visa Halftime Report is coming up. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy, tee it up. It's yours right after this from your local Fox station. Good second half coming up from Tampa, Florida.
Get ready for the rush. NASCAR returns to Fox, February 2004.
The NFC's top teams square off as Davis leads the Panthers attack into Big D to take on Carter and the Cowboys. Fox NFL Sunday. Next week, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Do you have the right truck? The
2004 Chevy Silverado, now available with power packs. Get this Silverado extended cab with a light-duty power pack, Vortec V8 heavy-duty trailering, plus the Safe and Sound power pack, bucket seats, Bose sound system, and more. Combine power pack savings with cash back for a total value of $4,500 on select models. Silverado now available with power packs. It's the right truck. See your select Heartland Chevy dealers today.
Well, what's your brother into?
Well, growing up, if it was cool, he had it. Hey, Dweebs, check it out. What is it? A VCR with remote. Mint. Psych.
Well, DVDs are cool. So are video games. We also have the latest music. Or classic hits.
Mint.
Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
We're making it faster and easier than ever to switch to M&I Bank.
Hi, I'd like to switch my checking account to M&I Bank. Quick, quick!
With 5 new checking accounts to choose from and our Quick Switch Kit.
We need a check card over here. Top it off with 150 free checks.
No problem.
You can get the account that's right for you in no time at all, along with the friendly, personal service you've come to expect from M&I Bank. M&I Bank checking. Faster, flexible, friendlier. Call or visit us today.
Look again, look again. It's Ford truck season with the best deals on the all-new 2004 Ford F-150. The truck that's been called the best pickup ever and still the top of the line. No wonder it's #1. And now current F-Series owners can get $1,000 in owner loyalty cash on an all-new 2004 F-150. So look again during truck season at your Northland Ford dealer. Where you been? Look again.
So I reached my hand in, felt around, and pulled out the obstruction.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime. 2 turnovers and poor passing for the Bucs in the first half, hurting them as they trail the Packers by 7.
All right, National League Rookie of the Year, Dontrell Willis, modeling Howie Long's jersey. You know what? He looks a lot better than Howie. Here's a shot. Dante Culpepper passes from Kleinstesser. Picked off by Phillip Buchanan 64 yards later. Raider touchdown there on top of the Vikings. 7-0 second quarter. Culpepper, this time sacked by Napoleon Harris. Pops it up. Raiders recover. That led to a Zach Plunkett 1-yard touchdown run. Raiders over the Vikings 14-3 at the half. Joey Harrington and the Lions got family in the half. That's when you show off. Matt Hasselbeck says, I got family too. Scrambling down the one, fumbles the football. Corey Robinson there recovers in the end zone. Touchdown 21-7 Seattle. And then a beautiful route. Clearing out by the left receiver, took both safeties out. Deep crossing route this time by Bobby Ingram. 34-yard touchdown reception. Ingram also with an 83-yard punt return. And it's 35-14 Seattle over Detroit.
All right. Doug Flutie, 3 of 12, 15 yards and a pick, not doing well at all. Bengals upset of the day over the Chiefs. Dolphins eked it out over the Baltimore Ravens. And Tennessee, first time in 7 games, they did not score 30 points in that victory over the Jaguars. Texans up in the Bills, who have now lost 3 straight. David Carr was out, Tony Banks was in. Bears played a heartbreaker, though, as they lose to the Rams. Field goal in overtime, won it for the Rams. Eagles, 28-10 over the Giants, 5 of 6 now against the Giants. Redskins lose to the Panthers. Stephen Davis did the honors there. Saints score the final points to win that one, 23-20. Was that 20 points? That's right, they
Final
sure did.
20 points.
Hey, I know we're going to talk a little football. Did Terry do okay on the name pronouncement?
Well, you know, the first thing is it's not Dontrell Willis, it's Dontrell Willis from the Florida Marlins, and it's not Kleinstesser.
Close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close.
Thoughts on the game, Tampa Bay?
Well, yeah,
Green Bay.
Tampa, you know, you just wonder about it. I mean, we've been saying all year long that they were going to get back on track. They had all the talent. They were going to be able to do this and do that. You know, they've got too many losses. I mean, if they don't win this ball game, they're done.
Third down conversion turnovers.
Okay.
Turnovers?
Maybe we shouldn't hurt our colleague.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm kicking him. I'm kicking him. If I have the chance.
Some of you go to local
I got
news.
my foot on his
Others
throat.
will see and hear
It's
Terry
called putting an
regroup
opponent
with the
away.
highlights.
Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
From America's
#1 show. The country's hottest singers rock the season like never before. Clay Aiken, Kelly Clarkson, Ruben Studdard, Tamira Gray, and many more. Don't miss all your favorite holiday classics, Idol style. An all-new special, An American Idol Christmas, Tuesday, November 25th on Fox.
Fox tonight. Lisa shuts down the school.
These are little kids. Take out your tiny baton.
This is the kind of troublemaking I expect from your brother. Whoa, a blank check for mayhem.
On an all-new Simpsons, part of a full hour. Then Reese finds a diary, and he's falling in love with the girl who wrote it.
You do have my old diary.
An all-new Malcolm, followed by Ron Howard's all-new Arrested Development.
You might want to find something a little stronger, Warden.
It all starts after a new King of the Hill, tonight on Fox.
The National Football League family is committed to supporting the courageous men and women serving in the U.S. Armed Forces in the Mideast. But the fight for freedom is not without loss. And the NFL urges you to join us and the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund in supporting the military families of those heroes who have sacrificed their lives in the service of our country. Please visit NFL.com/HeroesFund and help support those families in need.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime. Here is the Blonde Bomber.
Thank you so much, James. The Ravens at 24-19 over the previously undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Giants going down to play the Philadelphia Eagles. McNabb finds Westbrook, 29-yard touchdown, 14-3. Eagles over the Giants. Now in the second quarter, 4 opportunities from the 4-yard line. Pitch out to Barber, denied. 14-3 still. It's the Eagles over the Giants. Brian Westbrook then gets in the end zone from 4 yards out. Second touchdown on the day. Third total, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. Your final 28-10. Eagles over the Giants. Washington, Carolina back in the end zone. Johnson for a reception from Ramsey, 17-13. And then Panthers driving. Just over a minute left. Davis, 3-yard score. It was ruled upstairs. Inconclusive as no change to play. It's 20-17. There's your winner. Carolina now total in control of the NFC South. St. Louis and Chicago. Bulger finds Brandon Maluunamuchi.
Yeah, you got it. Brandon Maluuna. There you go.
Touchdown. 17-14 Rams over the Bears. And then Chandler to Des White. 11-yard touchdown, 21-20. Bears over the Rams until Wilkins boots this field goal of 30 yards to give the Rams the win. 23-21, your final.
That is what partners are for, and the Visa Halftime continues.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
In 1921, we invented the overhead garage door system. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's our name. To be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door, look for the overhead door red ribbon. Overhead Door, the only folks you need to know.
Serving the Seven Rivers region for more than 30 years. 783-6080.
This is our chatty family pack. All calls between these phones are... That would mean this one can call that one. Call this one, call that one. Call that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is the perfect family plan.
Shouldn't the perfect family plan include a home phone, too?
Do we think alike or what? Only Alltel gives you family-to-family minutes, so your mobile-to-mobile plan also includes your home phone. Connect the whole family and talk all you want with unlimited family-to-family minutes, plus up to 5 phones for 99 cents each. A better plan for the whole family?
You got that right.
Alltel.
Yes?
You married us 30 days ago, and I've decided it's not for me here.
We're so sure you'll love Charter high-speed internet that if you're not satisfied in the first 30 days, we'll refund your money. Get Charter's fastest residential internet speed available for only $29.99 a month. There are no long-term contracts and free installation. Call now to get this risk-free offer.
What is banking all about? It's about him, her, them. It's about managing today's challenges and planning for tomorrow's opportunities. It's having someone there when you need them, a trusted resource, a partner, a bank that knows you, not as a number or an account, but as a friend. far from ordinary. Right at home. That's Merchants Bank.
You're watching the Packers on Fox 25, Fox 48.
Rich Eisen hosts NFL Total Access, only on NFL Network.
A lot of big hits with a lot to play for today. A little smile and a wink from Brett Favre. 2, 4, and 5 teams meeting, and let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Okay, Joe Buck, I talked to John Gruden at halftime. He reserved his harshest criticism for the offense. He said, we could not be more inept on offense if we tried. Field position, another bone of contention. He's very upset about that. He says, we have been miserable. Tampa's best starting field position today, their own 28. Meanwhile, Green Bay, its own 42. Mike Sherman compliments his defense, but is not too happy with the offense, especially when it gets in the red zone. He says, we've left at least 8 points out on the field. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thanks. John Gruden may have saved his harshest criticism for his offense, but I'll pose this question at the start of the second half of a game that each team needs to have. Where's Chucky? Where's that look on the face of John Gruden? Chucky's gone bye-bye.
He left it in there at halftime. I guarantee you they got fully Chucky-ized at halftime.
But Chucky on the sideline has disappeared. You just don't see that. Even with some frustrating games, not just today, but the past few weeks, an ugly kick has a chance of going out of bounds, but it's taken by Barlow. Not willing to take that chance and getting the ball out to the 35 anyway. So that's where the Tampa Bay offense will start with it, out at the 35-yard line. So you with me on that, Chris? I mean, I don't see the same look on the face of John Gruden on the sideline. And this is a team that really hasn't played well as an entire team the past month.
Yeah, I think he is just a very frustrated guy. This team was all about discipline a season ago on offense and defense. And you look at him this year, Troy, just so many mistakes. It's just not the same team anymore.
Yeah, and this is really uncharted waters for John Gruden as well. I mean, everywhere he's been, his offenses have been very successful.
Toss to Jones running left, and he has a hole, a big yardage play, and down he goes, tripped up, and a game-saving trip by Darren Sharper.
And that is the exact same play that Jones hit in the first half. They come with the double crackback around the corner, pull the guard out and around, come in with the cracks and the seals here, and it's just out the gate. Great job that time by Jenkins getting the kick-out block, and Thomas Jones has added some pop, and just at the very end of that play, once again, a save by Darren Sharper.
That's a heck of an effort by Darren Sharper getting down in there, because the problems that Tampa Bay has had, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to get this ball in the end zone for 6 points.
Terrific hustle play by Darren Sharper. But a good start as Johnson dumps it off. McCardell, after a juggle, is down inside the 5. First and goal coming up for the Buccaneers as 2 quick plays has put Tampa Bay on the verge of getting into the end zone.
Yeah, Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, comes up on the blitz, and he just levels Brad Johnson. Brad hangs in there as long as he can, giving McCardell an opportunity to run the crossing route. Nice job of Brad Johnson hanging in and getting the ball off.
But they dropped KGB back into coverage, and I tell you what, Brad Johnson would love to see that all day.
Sharper on that last tackle as well. First and goal. Nothing for Pittman.
Oh, that's Nick Barnett again. I mean, this guy, you talk about him and his speed and his range and what he's meant to this defensive team. One of the criticisms has been his ability to shed blockers, but He's been moving laterally very well in this game, and again, involved in that play.
Extra wide receivers come into the lineup, and they're in the huddle for Tampa Bay, and that includes Joe Juravicius, who has 2 touchdown catches this season. Barlow, an extra wide receiver, in there as well. Johnson fires. He's got McCardell, and he's got a touchdown. Set up by the speed of Thomas Jones, and McCardell gets his 7th touchdown catch of the season.
And John Gruden saw something in this defense that would allow him to run this play. They worked on it Friday in their practice. Keenan McCardell went in motion. He acts as though he's going to go to the flat. He runs a pivot move once he gets out on the corner against Mike McKenzie, and then he's got all that interior field to work with, and all Brad's got to do is put it on his inside shoulder.
It's a game in Tampa, Florida. Tampa Bay 13, Green Bay 13. Each team into this game with a record of 4-5. Chucky comes back. Brad Johnson with another touchdown throw, and we're knotted at 13 apiece.
Enter Southwest Airlines, take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a trip to the Super Bowl for you and 10 friends.
Oh, how'd he make the list?
Brother-in-law.
Naturally.
Enter at southwest.com/Super Bowl.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? I lose myself after pain. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
So many standard features. My car makes me feel like I'm a step ahead of the game.
The Camry LE, starting at $19,560.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling.
Working on the right hamstring of Keenan McCardell. He injured it during practice this past week. He gets his 7th touchdown catch of the season on a hop. This is Ferguson. Out to the 26. 2 Thomas Jones runs today have netted 112 yards. This one set up the touchdown here in the opening minutes of the second half. The good news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, McCardell is in for the Bucs' first touchdown of the day. The bad news for the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay 0-5 when McCardell scores a touchdown, and that includes that incredible 36-yard grab he had last week in the 4th quarter at Carolina.
How about Thomas Jones, though? 112 yards today, just 91 all season.
Brett Favre with a toss to Amon Green. Amon is across the 30. Good pickup on first down of 6. Simeon Rice on the stop.
But right now, the Packers are winning the battle on first down runs. They are averaging 7.8 yards per carry on first down. And this Bucs defense is #1 in the NFL as far as stopping teams running the football on first down.
Well, they got away from it a little bit there in the first half, what they do, and that is running the football. And Amon Green, who is running the ball very effectively, I would expect them to feed him the ball more here in this second half.
2nd down and 4. Amon Green. 2 carries and a first down out to the 40. By the way, guys, I had a couple of football guys look at me open mouth. That was Gary Sheffield that we showed. Tampa native down there right in the front row watching.
Oh, you think we didn't know that? I knew that, didn't you, Troy?
Absolutely. Let's show him again.
That's a great home run hitter. You kidding me? Everybody knows Gary Sheffield.
He is his own agent, as he is a free agent this offseason. May end up at Yankee Stadium.
There he is.
There you have it. Toss to Davenport. And he goes back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Dwayne Rudd on the stop.
It's kind of interesting, really, to watch the way they substitute these backs in and out. Amon Green, it's only the 3rd play of this drive, and they already take him out and bring Najee Davenport in. You'd think that you want your main guy to get a little rhythm going, but they like to sub those guys in and out.
Yeah, now they've got Tony Fisher in the lineup.
Indy up 14 on the Jets. Over the middle, Javon Walker hauls it in out at the 46-yard line, a gain of 6. Barber on the tackle, 3rd down coming up.
And Anthony McFarland, their nose tackle, he's dropping off. It's a zone dog. He's dropping off and actually trying to cover that area. You're going to see him in the middle as he drops off and just hoping. Obviously, he's not going to cover anybody. He's just hoping to get into the throwing lane, but Javon Walker was able to get beyond that into the next window. 3rd down and 4. Favre to the sideline. The pass incomplete. And there's Tim Wansley again. Javon Walker had it knocked out of his hands.
Brett Favre's clock in his head is so fast when he plays against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been hit in the head so many times against this team. He just wants to get that football out of there. And it's one of the things that really frustrates him when he plays against the Bucs, because he doesn't have time to look off receivers, to look off defenders and try and make plays. He has to go to his first look.
Fair catch called for by Barlow after the punt by Bidwell. Ball is inside the 15 after a 40-yard punt. The Bucs are already in the end zone this half, and they've got it back.
Next, right.
My car makes me feel like everyone wants to be me.
The Camry XLE.
Steak and mushrooms. He likes a little blue cheese. I like skillet sensations. They're back at Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
You know, I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break it off, though.
Come on.
It's about love, man. That's what it's
For
about.
when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
So, Dan, do we have everything we need for this meeting?
It's all right here, sir.
Is your data backup as reliable as it should be?
Don't worry, sir. He told me everything.
Ours is. Bright Store Storage Software from Computer Associates.
On November 25th.
What do you want?
On the must-see DVD of the year.
Hang on!
X2, November 25th.
Well, Brad Johnson goes back to the huddle. You look at the offensive leaders for the Buccaneers. Johnson only 81 yards to this point. Thomas Jones within those 6 rushes, 2 big ones. This is Dilger's first catch. Out out across the 30, and that's a first down and buys Tampa Bay some breathing room.
They got him with a quick snap. The Packers were just milling around on defense, not ready. Brad Johnson's going to come up, quick snap the football, and they just weren't ready to play.
They had some success in the first half going to this no huddle, and here they are going to it again.
Johnson, penalty flag on the play, and Johnson throws it over the head and out of bounds. The head of Michael Pittman. And this is a trip against the Bucs.
A missed block. The guy runs by. Have to trip him to slow him down.
Tripping. 76. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, that's on John Wade, the center. You know, this drive started on the 14-yard line. They come up, they get the quick hit on first down, they get the ball out of there, and then because of the tripping penalty, now once again they're in a first down and long situation, and you can tell that this is just driving John Gruden absolutely nuts.
9 penalties a week ago for 95 yards with their loss at Carolina. That's a toss to Jones, and he's forced out of bounds by Barnett. Let's just go back to that tripping call and see if we can detect it. They called the number John Wade, and you could see him stick his right leg out. Grady Jackson started to tumble after it, and that's what drew the flag.
Yeah, that was the point, Joe. Grady Jackson was falling after the fact, and then all the official, he sees it at the tail end of the play, sees the leg out, sprawled out on the field, and thinks it's a trip.
Second down and 20. Setting up a screen to Jones. Jackson can't get him. McKenzie slows him down and wraps him up at the 29. Third down coming up.
Well, you really just have to reiterate how big this game is for these two teams. For two of the favorites coming into this season, and clearly these two teams were two of the favorites, for them both to be sitting at 4-5 at this point in the year and facing on the brink of elimination, not totally eliminated, but it really comes down to championship caliber football right now for these two teams.
Third down and 13. Looking at a blitz, Brad Johnson changes it. So the Packers change. And the pass is to Jones, forced out. Good play by Marcus Anderson, and it's time for a Buccaneer punt. To me, guys, the Green Bay Packers can suffer a loss and get through it and over it a lot more than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's because of what Minnesota's doing. Minnesota's falling apart. They're losing today. You know, if they win here today, they're only a game out. If they lose, they're only 2 out. Minnesota's schedule's not easy. Tampa Bay is hoping to stay alive in the wild card race.
And I think that's why Green Bay came into this game a little looser than maybe what Tampa Bay is. And that's why it's interesting that Brett Favre thinks that this team is as good as the '96 Super Bowl team they had.
A knuckler off the foot of Tupa. It's taken by Chapman. He's forced out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 28. Ivy pushed him out. A 6-yard return. Packers get it back. We're tied at 13 here in Florida.
Rock. Yeah, we're going to take the rock. Right, the rock.
Whew. The Rock. Yeah, The Rock.
It'll get you there. The rest is up to you.
What do you say we go one up on that rock over there? Yeah, The Rock.
The largest, most powerful forerunner yet, with an available third-row seat.
Okay, remember, we're just checking out prices.
So no matter what they say, we're not buying yet.
Right. What's running through your veins?
Ice water.
Right. Can't face it.
So with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you're covered on price.
Well, take it.
Go ahead, take it. If you find a lower price within 30 days of purchase, we'll give you back 110% of the price difference. Circuit City, we're with you.
Nice game face.
You didn't even see it coming.
When quality matters, reach out. On the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
This Thanksgiving,
Ryan, it's your brother. He's calling from jail.
while some return home to face the past, others are about to get in.
For 16 years of my life, I have no women. Now I have 2.
Way over their heads.
Summer, Anna, Seth. I always knew you were a late bloomer, sweetie.
The OC Thanksgiving, all new at 9, 8 Central Fox Wednesday.
Brett Favre comes in 0-5 here at Raymond James Stadium. 5 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His numbers today. Amon Green at 79 yards, averaging 118 yards per game. And Niall Diggs has had a big game defensively for the Pack. Under 7.5 to play in the third quarter. Handoff is to Green. Penalty flag on the play as Green picks his way out to the 45.
Amon Green on the run.
17-yard gain, but there is a flag back, and it's going to be an illegal shift.
Illegal shift, 2 men moving and not resetting. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I meant to say illegal shift.
Think he's from New York?
No.
Neither one. Yes, it is. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. What, neither one of these offenses has really been able to get a whole lot going, and much to the surprise, I think you look at Green Bay offensively and what they've been able to do, and they're running the ball very effectively, but the penalties and just not being able to convert on third down has been killing these drives.
Favre sprints to his right. Get out of the way of Lynch, and now airs it out. Pass is picked off. Intercepted. Now the ball comes out. They're going to blow the play dead, but the interception will stand as Travaris Robinson comes up with another takeaway for this Tampa defense. And that means 51 consecutive games with at least one takeaway for this defense. Number 2 to the Philadelphia Eagles, who had 71 straight back in the mid-'80s to 1990.
Was down by contact. First down.
The interception stands, and it's the first for Robinson.
I was talking to Brett Favre before the game, and he said that he did not want to get into a situation where he was forcing balls in the second half, but that's exactly what he did on that play.
And an interception is the result.
You ever go horseback riding?
Are you kidding? Those things are huge.
What about motorcycles?
No way. You ever hang glide?
I'm scared of flying.
Surfing? Way too dangerous.
Right.
No matter what you love to do, bring your Visa card. The card you know they'll take wherever your adventures take you. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Should have gotten fajitas.
Ooh, fajitas.
Taco Bell's Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito. It'll make you regret getting anything else.
Oh, you should have gotten fajitas.
Sizzling marinated carne asada steak and tasty fajita veggies, all wrapped in a flour tortilla and grilled to go.
I should have gotten fajitas.
Taco Bell's Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Nothing beats the sizzle when you think outside the bun.
The man who did this was pure evil.
You're scaring her. She needs to be scared, and so do you.
I am looking for my granddaughter! Hold your breath right now! From director Ron Howard. The Missing, rated R, opens everywhere November 26th.
Fox NFL Sundays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And by The Missing, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Cate Blanchett. In theaters this November, rated R.
13-13 the score as Brett Favre throws the interception. Talking to Driver. He was throwing in Driver's direction. Starting at their own 49, a toss to Jones. stays with his blocking, and Thomas Jones is brought down a yard shy of a first down. This has been a house of horrors for Brett Favre. Coming into today, an 0-5 record, 5 touchdown throws, 9 interceptions. He just threw one to Robinson, and this could be the final time for Brett Favre taking on this arch-rival Tampa Bay team unless the two sides finish in the same spot in each of their divisions at the end of the year.
Yeah, and one reason why he struggled is because he's been playing against some great defensive football teams, and it's amazing when you've not had success in a stadium and against an opponent, when you have something bad go against you, how those bad memories come into your head.
Thomas Jones. Hi, my name is Thomas Jones, and I have just taken over as the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And the cutback now working for the Buccaneers. We've seen Amon Green do this so many times. You get somebody with a little more speed. The Packers over pursuing the play, just simply trying to come down. KGB getting crashed down, and there was nobody outside to contain it. Right now, the Bucs are just running left, and running left, and the Packers have no answer for it.
On first down, Jones again. Penalty flag on the play, and Thomas Jones forced out with no gain. Baja Villamila was there on the stop. But we'll check the marker, and it's against the Buccaneers. Thomas Jones, by the way, in this game has become the first player in Tampa history. Pause.
Holding, 74, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
With 2 runs of 50 or more yards, he has one of 61 and one of 51, both coming in this game against Green Bay.
Well, and he's really been their only weapon so far in this game. I mean, he's provided the spark that John Gruden hoped that he would, but they're going to need somebody else to be able to make some plays, and especially when you start having these penalties that, again, you don't want to be repetitive, but that's what's hurting this team.
On first down, quick throw, and Pittman wasn't looking for it. They had Pittman lined up wide out to the left on Edwards, and the pass incomplete. Quick game break. Here's JB.
All right, fellas, let me bring you up to date on what's taking place here with the Raiders. Take a look. Mr. Tyrone Wheatley walking this one in. That after a Zach Crockett big run of 44 yards there. But take a look at Dante Culpepper scrambling with time, throws it, picked off by Philip Buchanan. His second pick, the first one, you know, he took back 64 yards for the score. 21-3 Oakland. Back to you guys.
Thanks, JB. Second down and 20, and the pass is caught. Penalty flag on the play as Keyshawn Johnson hauled it in. But this penalty flag is back near the line of scrimmage. And it's a personal foul face mask against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that has happened time and time again to them.
And you just hope it's not Kenyatta Walker.
For Walker's sake.
You won't have to guess if he says 67 with this crowd reaction.
Personal foul. Grasping and twisting the face mask. 67. Offense. 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
These fans have seen and heard enough of that.
I think John Gruden has seen and heard enough of that as well, and it's just happened too many times. This is the 3rd week now. He had 3 penalties last week. In fact, Kabir Bajabiamila talked about when he went against him his rookie year. Kenyatta Walker at that time even was going hands to the face. His neck was hurt so badly that he moved over to the other side just to keep from getting hit in the head so many times. This has been an ongoing problem, and they've got Roman open up if it continues.
Second down and 35 now. And sliding to make the catch is Pittman, but a minimal gain of only 4 yards. Niall Diggs on the stop.
Roman Oben is up, and I talked to him before the game, and his hand's still definitely hurting. And you go back a few weeks ago, I believe it was against the Dallas Cowboys, he was trying to block with that cast on his hand, and he just couldn't do anything. And he said, I didn't even go watch the film, it was so bad, and it was. He just got run over all day, so I don't expect Oben to get in.
Bill Muir, the offensive line coach for the Buccaneers. What a year it's been for his group. 3rd down and a mile, and over the middle, the pass is skipped. That ball hit the turf, and it's incomplete.
You know, and I had a chance to visit with Bill Muir at practice on Friday, and
he really felt that this was the most offensive line friendly offensive system that he's ever been a part of. And he said, if you can't enjoy playing offensive line in this offense or coaching offensive line in this offense, then you really have a problem. You're not going to enjoy playing anywhere. And I know he's extremely frustrated in what has happened with Kenyatta Walker. He understands that it's been a tough switch to go from right tackle to left tackle. But he did say that if he struggled, Roman Oben would be in the lineup playing left tackle.
Tupa's been busy. This will be punt number 6. Line drive punt. And it will take a bounce and go out of bounds. 2 tremendous punts by Tupa in this game. They'll mark it at the 3. And there's a flag over on the far side of the field. It's a hold against Green Bay. So the Packers will be backed up with about 3.5 minutes to play in this third quarter in a tie game.
During the kick, holding 42, return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Got a little red Cashin in him.
Al Harris and Keyshawn Johnson getting into it after that last offensive series. Getting hot around here. Still tied. First down.
On the road and stuck trying to get business email in all the wrong places? Get Verizon Wireless Remote Email Access. Stay productive and in touch when you're away from the office.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Now ask how you can save up to $200 on select wireless PDAs and BlackBerry devices.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
With a 140 horsepower engine and responsive handling, we put the fun back into the compact car, the Saturn Ion. Finance the new 2004 Saturn Ion 1 with air conditioning and CD player for $179 a month. See your retailer for details.
Great teams are often forged over the hot coals of adversity. On the eve of the big meeting, the third quarter numbers suddenly changed. But so did your presentation, automatically. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's a Cinderella story.
Rich Eisen hosts NFL Total Access.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
In years past, there wasn't a worse place to be on an NFL field than backed up. Ball just outside your own 1, taking on this Tampa Bay defense. Green back to the line of scrimmage.
They're in danger of going backwards for 2. John Lynch crawling up right around the line of scrimmage. This is 8-man front all the way. We're just going to see everybody go in their one gap trying to get penetration, and Mon Green was lucky not to give up the 2. He is way back. He is 7-8 yards back in that I formation. And it's tough for him to beat the linebackers across the line.
You almost need to go quarterback sneak just to get the ball off the goal line.
Amon Green tries the other side. A little breathing room out to the 5. Barber again on the stop, a gain of 4.
And that's a huge difference right there, being able to get the ball off the goal line. Now you have a little bit of room to operate. You can go with your full arsenal of running game if you'd like, or if you even decide to throw the football down here, your quarterback now has some room to maneuver as well if they elect to take that chance.
I guess the big question now, in years gone by, this would be an easy decision. You put the ball in Brett Favre's hands and you let him throw it. But right now, the way they're throwing the football and the job these receivers aren't doing down the field, so sure you do.
Well, last week we thought it was due to the weather, but they haven't thrown it any better this week.
Penalty flags before the play. No play.
That play came in so late, Brett Favre had no chance to get it off in time.
Snap infraction, 58, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still third down.
Had to rush the snap count, had to fly up there. Nobody was set. Backed up again.
The Packers 0 for their last 7 on third down. It's 3rd and 9. Over the middle, it's Ferguson with a big first down catch. Out past the 25. A 23-yard gain on 3rd down and 9.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to their trademark Tampa 2. You're going to see the 2 safeties here. You're going to get a middle backer working down the middle. And you've just got to be able to beat the corner. Ferguson is able to get into the middle of the field, whereas the weakness of that coverage, and look at the time that Brett Favre had to throw the football. They weren't able to get a pass rush on him.
The offensive line got it done on that one.
Davenport is the tailback. And he gets it on a little dump off from Favre. Brooks on the tackle. JB's been busy. It's late in the day. Here's another game break.
Hey, Joe, trailing 21-3. Minnesota looking for a spark. They get it here as Dante Culpepper with the quarterback draw. 11 yards. The big fellow rumbles in. 21-10 now. Oakland, 2:12 left in the third. Back to Joe Buck.
You talk about that game there, and if Minnesota loses, what an opportunity Green Bay has. They lost out on a great opportunity last week in their loss to Philadelphia, but they can make it up today.
2nd down and 9. And the handoff is to Davenport. Hit the hole hard and got up to the 34, a gain of 7.
Yeah, every time the Packers start to get something going with their running game, they end up with a negative play, a penalty. Something forces them out of their rhythm. If this team can just stay on schedule, keep running the football, I think they're winning the battle up front.
Favre is hot. Upset. Steamed. Walking down to the other end of the field as we wind down in this 3rd quarter. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Packers when we come back. 13-13 the score. The final quarter of play coming up. After this from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Tilt and telescopic steering column, adjustable pedals, flat folding front passenger seat. The all-new Chevy Malibu was designed to be perfect. For you, you, and you. Now it's even more perfect. The all-new 2004 Chevy Malibu LT. Well-equipped and now with $1,000 cash back or 0% APR. See your select Heartland Chevy dealers today.
Wetsteins.
Wow.
Wetsteins. Now.
You won't find service in town here like Wetsteins have. Nobody around has a sales staff like Wetsteins. Thank goodness for me, people at Wetsteins are full of answers.
There's definitely no place around like Wetsteins.
We want to do the best for our customers. And they provide a service, and they excel at their service.
And I think that's a good thing because they know I'll probably come back.
Why buy anywhere else but Wetsteins? La Crosse and Winona.
Don't look away from this ad, or you just might miss the game that belongs in your home. These are just a few selections of the games you'll find at Stansfield's Game Room Store that will keep your family together at home. With a wide selection of games, there's sure to be something the whole family will agree on. These are the quality name brand games professionals use. And don't forget the jukeboxes. So if you haven't seen it here, or if you looked away and missed the game, you know the game that belongs in your home is at Stansfield's Game Room Store, Highway 16 on Alaska.
You know what I mean. Pork, sausage, kabadee, that's all, folks.
What's in store for us on 3rd and 2?
96 power load. They've been 13 for 13 running right through here in short yardage.
Amon Green falls forward and picks up a first down. Initially hit behind the line to gain, but has enough, picked up 3 and gets a fresh set for Green Bay.
And we've seen this Buccaneers defense earlier against Carolina and some other games. If you can get them to the fourth quarter and keep pounding and keep pounding, it's not that the guys up front can't handle the pressure, but if you start getting up on that second level of linebackers, you have the ability to break some big runs.
Toss to Davenport. Plenty of room to run. And it's John Lynch with the tackle just outside the 35. They'll mark him down at the 36, a run of 28 yards.
This offensive line now is really starting to come off the ball. They've only got 1 wide receiver in the game. Clearly they're running formation. They start pulling linemen. They get the fullback out leading the way, kicking him out. Najee Davenport, as we've talked about, got great acceleration for a big man.
They got Brooks out of there. They got Shelton Quarles out of there. One-on-one.
On first down, the pass is behind Javon Walker. You know, here's where it's changed for Green Bay, and we've talked about this a little bit. Packers needing points, needing to get the ball down the field. Outside of that throw on 3rd and 9 from right near his own goal line, when the Packers need to get the ball forward, they're putting it behind this offensive line and in the hands of Amon Green or Najee Davenport.
Until then, you know, instead of running on first down again, you've got the momentum. They come out and throw on first down. I don't know why.
The ball at the 36. Now they run. This is Fisher, who's playing with a dislocated right pinky. He's down to the 34, a gain of 2.
Well, they're kind of caught in a situation there, Chris, because they're having success running the football. There's no question about that. But in the event that you come out and run it on 1st, 2nd down and you don't have success, then all of a sudden you're trying to throw it on 3rd down. No question that 1st down's the best down to throw it. But they've enjoyed tremendous success today running the football with Amon Green. And Najee Davenport.
This team averages 5.5 yards a carry. I'd never get away from it.
Blitz coming from the Bucs. Off his back foot. The pass is complete. First down, Ferguson. Who does that better than Favre, throwing off his back foot, getting the ball all the way over to the sideline?
Yeah, he wouldn't put on a clinic as far as how to play the quarterback fundamentally from Brett Favre, but he does such a great job giving himself some time. And then this ball here just thrown on a rope and is put right where Ferguson has the opportunity to make the play. This is the fade stop as we watch Favre falling back, and that's really the trademark of him when he's in the pocket throwing the ball.
Kevin Barry is in as an eligible tackle on the right side. They toss to Green. 4 big yards for Green Bay on first down. Gain of 7.
You know, it's interesting. The Packers came into this game feeling like they couldn't get outside against Tampa because they're so fast on defense. But this zone play has really been taking its toll. They're just going to bring everybody out. Everybody's going to run to the right and give Amon Green a chance to just pick his own hole. He takes his time, nice and patient, finds the quick hitter.
Now it's Davenport in the backfield. That's Henderson in motion, and Najee Davenport ran into Henderson. And then got back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
And it looked like he had a hole there, Joe, until he did run into William Henderson. Either Najee Davenport hitting a little faster than what Amon Green would, or William Henderson just not getting out of the way and clearing up through that hole.
Stretching the legs of Amon Green over on the sideline on 3rd down and 2. So you don't have the top rusher in the NFC in the backfield. Instead, it's Fisher. 3rd down and 2. Looking left all the way, and it's Donald Driver. Tried to throw the ball for a first down, and I believe he was forced out just shy. Rondé Barber there with a strong enough tackle to prevent the first down.
Boy, how about this decision?
Well, Green Bay comes up there, and they ran a natural pick. That's what the Bucs were trying to get called. But because of the pick, he was able to open up Donald Driver on the play. You're going to see these guys here running the crossing routes. A natural pick is what they're trying to create because of the press coverage.
And it's close to being a first down, but just short.
Well, the officials all the while have been calling fourth down. Now, whether this is done by Green Bay or not, they're going to bring the chains out to measure. And with the play clock down to 16 and counting, without even having the play in, this is a big break for Green Bay. They don't have to spend a timeout, and they may very well go for it anyway on fourth down.
And a lot of times what happens, Joe, is the quarterback will go to the referee and say, hey, I want a measurement on this because I want to know if we don't have it.
Moves from the sideline. We cannot measure. It's fourth down.
And they'll say, I want to know exactly what it is that we have to do in order to pick this up. And they do it in order to afford themselves more time to make that decision instead of having to burn the timeout.
They just got it. Play clock. With again 71 very eligible as a tackle. It's fourth down. Forward for a first down, Davenport. And that big offensive line, an athletic offensive line for Green Bay, opens up another hole.
Little counteraction in the backfield to get those linebackers to flow one way and then hand it back off the other side. He's going to split the backs and then come back the other way. You see the movement. You see the linebackers flow. Great call on fourth and short. Once again, that was the big play last week against Philadelphia as well that went for a touchdown.
First down, Green Bay, and why wouldn't they keep it on the ground? Davenport still on his feet, down inside the 5.
I mean, Najee Davenport, a fullback with tailback speed, and again, once he gets going north and south, you can see him just ricocheting off people, breaking tackles, and continuing to get closer and closer to that goal line. Just great physical running by Najee Davenport.
And the Buccaneers defensively are exhausted. I mean, they are just dragging out there right now. This drive has sucked the life right out of them.
16th play of the drive, it's Fisher. Tony Fisher gets it to the 1. Now, Green Bay can get a first down without getting the ball into the end zone. And this is very close to first down yardage, and we're going to have a measurement. All the while, guys, this has been done with Ahman Green on the sideline while they work on his legs.
Well, you want to talk about a great drive, though. This drive started on what, the 2? That big third down throw, and now they have gone all the way in the Buccaneers' home field against the world champions, against this great defense, and they are just shoving it down their throats right now.
And it's a first and goal.
And they're doing it the old-fashioned way. Vince Lombardi somewhere is enjoying the heck out of this drive.
Now Lucci comes in as a fullback. Fisher checks out. Ahman Green is back in for the Packers. Fourth quarter points against this Tampa Bay defense. That's crushed the Buccaneers this season. Ahman Green is in for the touchdown, and there are more fourth quarter points against this vaunted Buccaneer D.
Right there's the man that got it done, though. Mike Sherman, 4th and 1. He believed in this offensive line. He believed in their ability to run the football, even against the world champions, even against this great defense. Showed confidence, and it paid a huge dividend.
Ahman Green gets into the end zone. 10th time on the ground this season. And Longwell nails the extra point. So it's a 7-point Green Bay lead. They get their first points of this second half. And they'll kick it back to the Buccaneers when we return.
My husband's going to cut you off when the light turns green.
I'm driving with my knees.
You don't always know who to avoid out there.
I'm really tired.
That's why every Saturn L300 comes standard with ABS brakes, traction control, and head curtain side airbags. Finance a new 2004 Saturn L300-1 for $249 a month. See your retailer for details.
No one's been able to make the perfect chicken strip with the right chicken, the right breading,
These are very dry.
The right sauce. Till Wendy's found a better way. Introducing Wendy's Homestyle Chicken Strips. Big pieces of breast filet with your choice of delicious Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, and spicy Southwest Chipotle. Nice. Try Wendy's new Homestyle Chicken Strips. It's better here. And remember, you can eat great even late.
4 flicks?
Yeah, you know, you can only get that DVD here. Get you front and center for the Rolling Stone shows. Hey.
Get 4 Flicks, the ultimate live Rolling Stones concert DVD box set, exclusively at Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, stylish midsize L300, and the fun-to-drive Ion. By Best Buy, thousands of possibilities, get yours. By Wendy's new Homestyle Chicken Strips, another reason it's better here. And by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, Gothica, in theaters everywhere Friday, November 21st.
What a drive for the Green Bay Packers. 17 plays, 98 yards. Their longest drive of the season, consumed over 9.5 minutes off the clock. Barlow. John Gruden pleading with his team for a good return. Marshall on the tackle after a return of only 13 yards. Brad Johnson will head back to the field with the Buccaneers down by 7.
Introducing the first SUV with a power sliding rear roof.
Whoa.
The new GMC Envoy XUV. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Are you scared? This is the girl that I saw.
It's impossible. She died 4 years ago. Won't you trust me?
You can't trust somebody when they think you're crazy.
Halle Berry, Robert Downey Jr., Penelope Cruz.
Something's really happening to me.
Gothica, rated R, starts November 21st.
Hey, Bob, you get a new haircut?
No.
Hey, Bob. Hey.
Did you lose weight?
Nope. What's different? He finally asked his doctor about Viagra. Find out if a free sample is right for you.
Did you just talk to the doctor?
Yep. Ask your doctor and see the difference.
E-server for music.
E-server for news.
E-server for science.
E-server for stews.
E-server has blades, and it's stackable too.
You need more, you get more. It's all up to you. E-server can work with your software at hand.
E-server will give what you want on demand.
From heifers to hogs, there's no task too tough. They're smart, fast, and scalable, all that good stuff.
They're flexible, bendable, super reliable.
Utterly viable.
Give them a triable.
IBM eServer X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
Green Bay Packers on that 17-play, 98-yard drive converted 3 third downs and a 4th down. You look at the fourth quarter setbacks for the Bucs. The Panthers twice, the Colts, the Saints after tying at 14-14. Carney beat him with a 47-yarder. Now it's Brad Johnson trying to step up, and he's brought down by Kabir Baja-Biamila. He started that play at the defensive left end. A loss of 1, so another sack for Biamila.
Well, now Brad Johnson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've got an opportunity to come back and match the touchdown that Green Bay just put on the board. But boy, they have just struggled in every phase, and they've just not been able to get anything going other than the runs that they've been able to create with Thomas Jones.
On Monday night, the Green Bay defense blew 2 fourth-quarter leads against the Eagles. As the pass is complete to McCardell, and he gets an extra little shove from McKenzie. And McCardell is doing everything he can not to retaliate.
Would have easily been a late hit on that one.
Did you see McCardell? I mean, it's almost like he had to hold his arm back coming up from behind McKenzie.
Yeah, he faked the sucker punch on him.
I'll tell you what, if that had been a quarterback, they'd have thrown him out of the league.
His foot was on the out-of-bounds line when he got hit.
I think that's a late hit.
Instead, it's 3rd down and 5. 1 for 9 on third down today are the Bucks. Johnson in trouble, unloads, and it's incomplete. Jurevicius, the intended receiver. And it was Hawthorne, Michael Hawthorne, who made the defensive play.
And you watch Brad Johnson, he's going to start sliding to his left. They've got two guys working on Kabir Bajabiamila, but Brad starts sliding there, and he kind of gets himself into a little bit of trouble. He had better protection than what it appeared.
And look at McCardell get back at Mike McKenzie.
Well, championship teams don't do that. Keenan McCardell fortunate they didn't see that and penalize him.
This is one frustrated football team right now.
Tupa. Line drive punt, a chance for a return. This is Chapman. Trying to get to the near side of the field, gets a block. Good block by Antoine Edwards, and in the end, a very good return by Chapman of 11 yards.
David Gibson.
McKenzie and McCardell. Now you know why McCardell came back at him. Like officials, we only saw the second part. It's 2013 Green Bay, and they've got the ball.
And now with Sprint, unlimited night minutes instead of starting at 9, start at 7. And your calls are clear. Wait till I tell them about the nationwide network.
Now with Sprint, on any new service plan, you can get 2 more hours of weeknight calling.
Inside that robot is something familiar, a battery. And while you may think all batteries are the same, listen to this. It's just the rain, but with his Phonak hearing aid, he's hearing it for the first time. And when Phonak chooses a battery, they trust Duracell.
You heard the rain.
So whether it's a child's hearing or child's play, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Introducing the first SUV with a power sliding rear roof.
Whoa.
The new GMC Envoy XUV. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
NFL Sundays brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
Handoff is to Amon Green, who is approaching the 100-yard plateau. He was a part of, but not the focus of, that last great drive, and it was that put on by Favre and the Packers. That huge completion to Ferguson, the first down catch. But the majority of the yards were churned up on the ground by the Green Bay Packers behind this offensive line.
Yeah, I just thought it was hard against hard, the game on the line, and the Packers took it right to them.
17 plays, 98 yards, and over 9.5 minutes off the clock. Amon Green is up over 100 yards, and you should know that this Buccaneer team 1-12 the last 5 years when they have allowed a 100-yard rusher. Let's go out to Los Angeles for the game breakers, JB.
Hey, Joe, Minnesota was threatening with the ball at the 12 of Oakland. Dante Culpepper, what a game. Fumbles here. That's his 4th turnover. 2 picks. That was his 2nd. It was recovered by Oakland. Back to you guys.
Recovered by Howie Long. With the name Cooper on his back. Movement along the line of scrimmage for the Packers.
I think we're seeing
prior to the snap, false start, 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Clifton.
That was on Chad Clifton, and we're starting to see some of the frustration that Brett Favre is having as well. But right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers know exactly what Green Bay is going to do. I mean, they're going to come down here. They're going to try to take time off the clock. They're going to run the ball predominantly, and they have a chance to try to shut them down. Of course, on first down, a huge gain And now we're going to get a chance to see what kind of defense this really is when the game's on the line, if they can shut them down here.
Packers trying to get those 5 yards back with a hard snap count. Favre throws off his back foot out of the reach of Antonio Freeman. And now the thumb.
I think that was Warren Sapp that got the pressure right in his face. And as Brett tried to follow through on the throw, see, this is Sapp right here. He's going to come drive, and get his man back underneath Brett Favre. And as Brett followed through, he smacked that thumb.
And that was the one thing he was concerned with. He felt that he had no restrictions as far as throwing the football. His biggest concern was if he banged it on a helmet on his follow-through, which is what exactly happened.
4 games ago at St. Louis, fractured his thumb. They hand off. That's Ahman Green. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Let's go back to that last throw by Favre. And on the follow-through, he caught his teammate, it looks like, one of his offensive linemen backing up.
I think it was Mike Wall who just got driven back into him.
And he's still in the game, but you wonder if he can even throw it, even if they wanted to attempt a pass. Of course, they ran it on the last down. Right now, they are in a passing formation.
But he wonders if he can throw it. 3rd down and 14. And they just flip it. That's Fisher. And he did it with his left hand. The ball is just inside the 40, a gain of 7. And 4th down coming up.
Well, Brett's been shaking that thumb ever since he hit it on the helmet, and it does not appear that he's going to be able to throw the ball. And if he can, very effectively anyway, it was beginning to heal. The problems that he had last week were because of the taped thumb and the weather. But he's got some issues now.
But, you know, just the threat of having Brett Favre in there, as long as the Bucs don't know it, the threat of him being able to throw it allows him to still run the football.
I would imagine it won't take long for them to know it.
Well, they got people in the booth upstairs as high as we are that can see it.
End over end punt by Bidwell. And it is down inside the 5. We have seen terrific work by the punters. Tupa and now Bidwell. The ball is marked down at the 2. Not only for today, but for the rest of the season. That could be an important play for Brett Favre and the Packers. Bucs have it down 7.
Real man of genius.
Bud Light salutes you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer.
Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer.
Pushing fashion to its limits, you pair leather boots with a thong.
Oh, looking good.
An understated way of saying, I'm going to rip your head off and look fabulous doing it.
Ripping off heads.
So make it a Bud Light, mister, because without you, a man crushing another man's head in his arms would just look silly.
Everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu. We think they'd agree. It's just about perfect.
Fox tonight. When Lisa's elected class president, school will never be the same.
I call a student strike.
Are you crazy?
These are little kids. Take out your tiny baton.
And all new Simpsons.
This is the kind of troublemaking I expect from your brother. Cool, a blank check for mayhem.
Part of a full hour. Then, Reese finds a secret diary. But is he falling in love with a fantasy?
You are so hot.
Or something a lot worse?
What are you doing with my old diary?
An all-new Malcolm. And catch the breakout comedy of the season.
You might want to find something a little stronger, Warden.
An all-new Arrested Development. It all starts at 7:30 with a new King of the Hill. Tonight on Fox.
Challenging the ruling on the field. With the ball.
John Gruden, literally 3 seconds ago, called Walt Coleman over the sideline and said, we want a review of this play to see if Ferguson had reestablished himself in the field of play after stepping on the goal line before downing this punt at the 2.
Now 1 foot down, 2 feet down before he touched the football. Good play by Ferguson.
They're going to look at it. We'll take a break and have the result of that review when we come back.
Remember how great the last day of school was? That's what getting away on a Southwest Airlines Fun Fair feels like. They're everyday low fares to your favorite vacation spots that start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Great teams are often forged over the hot coals of adversity. On the eve of the big meeting, the third quarter numbers suddenly changed. But so did your presentation, automatically. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's a Cinderella story.
Walt Coleman is just finishing his look at it under the hood. We showed you our look at it. Ferguson, it looked like, got both feet down to reestablish his position in the field of play after stepping on the goal line. And this is a big call.
There's one. Does he drag this foot before he touches the ball? I believe that he does. The ball should be down right there.
So it's either at the 2 or at the 20, depending on how Walt Coleman sees it on this review and challenge by the Tampa Bay sideline. And obviously, if the call stands, it will cost the Bucs a timeout.
After reviewing the play, the Green Bay kicking team member came out of the end zone and reestablished with his knee down. He reestablished with his knee down and then touched the ball, which is legal. So the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, first down. The ruling on the field stands. Tampa Bay will be charged a timeout.
And it was a good challenge by John Gruden when you're talking about 18 yards of field position with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the game.
But a costly challenge with that timeout gone now and having 98 yards to go.
Well, you wonder if this is one of those last opportunities for the Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, to get something done here. They're down by 7. They come into this game 4-5, staring at 4-6 if they don't come back to beat the Green Bay Packers. In their division, they seem dead in the water, and their wild card hopes would take a severe hit with a loss here this evening. So they start with it on a toss to Jones, running right. And Jones gets out to the 7.
Well, plus, Joe, you're talking about the possibility, if they lost here, of having to win their last 6 in a row. And I haven't seen anything out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that would lead me to believe they have the possibility of winning 6 in a row.
Well, the one problem that Tampa Bay has right now offensively here is if they're not able to get a first down and they punt, they give the ball back to Green Bay in great field position, and a field goal basically ices this game. So they've got to at least be able to get out of here pretty good and not give the ball back to Green Bay.
On second down, a toss to Pittman. Green Bay defense able to string it out, and 3rd down. Coming up for the Bucs when we return. Right now, we'll go out to James Brown for another game break.
Hey, Joe Buck, despite 4 turnovers by Dante Culpepper, he has engineered the 2 touchdowns here. Take a look at this 29-yard strike to Kelly Campbell. 2 plays, 81 yards, both passes to Kelly Campbell, and the 2-point conversion was good. It's 21-18 Oakland with 8 minutes left in regulation. Back to Joe Buck.
You know, I think the interesting question here, Joe, is this 4-down territory? And I believe that it is. I think he'll go for it on 4th down.
3rd down and 2. Play action. Johnson unloads short of McCardell. And Brad Johnson ends up flat on his back with Larry Smith staring at him. And here comes the punt team for the Buccaneers.
Well, and it was just great coverage by Green Bay, and Brad had some time to get rid of the football, but just nowhere to go with it. He's trying to run the flat route down to the bottom, and then Brad winds up just being able to unload the football to avoid the sack. But now they're giving the ball back to Green Bay, and Green Bay should have great field position.
But the one factor that we haven't talked about is that thumb injury by Favre. It could make Green Bay one-dimensional. The Buccaneers are going to have to get a stop from this defense, something they have not received the last 4 or 5 weeks. Fair catch called for and received at the 41 by Chapman. And now Brett Favre, who had a chip come off the backside of the thumb right at the knuckle on his throwing hand. He wears a splint on the underside during the week, and then they flip it over to the backside during the game. And it's amazing that he's been able to get along as well as he has.
That's right. Right here is where the break is. And normally when you break a thumb or have a thumb injury, you cannot use the thumb to press or squeeze. That's not the case with Brett Favre. That's why he's been able to throw the ball effectively, is because he can grip the ball and he can squeeze the ball. Now with the reoccurring injury, however, you wonder if that is now a factor.
Well, they know they're going to run, and Tampa Bay still can't stop the run. An 11.5-yard carry by Davenport that gets the ball inside Buccaneer territory, and it is slipping away here quick for the Super Bowl champs.
Well, and that is part of the reason I thought it was going to be 4-down territory, and why I thought the Bucs would run it on 3rd and 2, playing it for 4-down territory. I was a little surprised they came out with that pass, Troy.
Well, that's why I thought it was so critical. Either they're going to go 98 yards and tie the game up, or if they don't get a first down backed up, then we see what happens right here. Obviously, if they do go for it on 4th down, Chris, like you said, then it comes down to, okay, we're going to win or lose the game on this one play.
On 1st down, a toss. That's Davenport running right. Runs into Anthony McFarland. And a gain of only 1. As we approach the top of the hour, these two teams came into this game at 4-5. Brett Favre came into the game still suffering with that fracture in his throwing hand thumb. He has been good enough, and again for the Green Bay Packers, as the Bucs will spend one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Brett Favre, with that tremendous running game and that very good offensive line, just engineered a 17-play, 98-yard drive with a game tied. 98 yards to go, up by 7 points. And now the Buccaneer defense is on the field again looking for a stop, and this could be it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right here.
You know what's interesting? We're talking about the possibility of Brett Favre not playing. What's he played now? 183 straight starts. And, you know, I just wondered, Joe, you know a lot about baseball, how you would put that streak in comparison to Cal Ripken's streak. From my standpoint, I don't think we'll ever see a quarterback play 183 straight or 200 straight if you count his playoff games. It's just unbelievable.
It started on September 27th, 1992. It runs through today as he plays with that fracture in his thumb. On 2nd down, it's Najee Davenport. Still fighting through tacklers, and Davenport forces his way forward for a 1st down.
And 1st down really pretty much ices this game. They should be calling timeout now before the 2-minute warning. But you know they're going to run the football. Brett Favre has not yet passed the ball since he re-injured the thumb, and they can't do anything about it defensively for Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay has to spend their final timeout, and a couple of things may end here in the next 2:09. The winless streak by Brett Favre and the Packers here at this stadium, Raymond James Stadium, came in 0-5, and the other, the sack streak for this Tampa defense. They have been held without a sack. And the last time that happened was October 3rd at Minnesota, 1999.
And give Chad Clifton a lot of credit over there. Did a great job all day long against Simeon Rice with no help.
We would like to welcome a new audience that joined us, and with 2:09 remaining here, just to recap, 2 teams that were 2 of the favorites coming into the season come into this game, each a game under 500. The Packers are alive in their division. The Buccaneers only had hopes in the wild card chase, and they're certainly not 100% gone if they lose here.
71 eligible.
But with this tremendous ground game by the Green Bay Packers, they are 2 minutes 9 seconds away from a huge win here in Tampa, Florida. Davenport is brought down in the backfield by Dwight Smith. And we are officially at the 2-minute warning. It'll be second down for the Green Bay Packers. And Brett Favre when we come back. Thumbs up, fractured thumb at all for the Pack.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Chevy Malibu. Your private Malibu showing starts at ChevyMalibu.com.
It's simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu, we think they'd agree. It's just about perfect.
You know, I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break it off, though.
Come on.
It's about love, man. That's what it's
For
about.
when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
The Zales Holiday Keepsake Music Box, exclusively designed by Lennox, with a diamond heart pendant for just $99. More than just music to her ears. Exclusively at Zales, making moments last a lifetime.
The Green Bay Packers in run out the clock mode. 2 minutes left.
71 is
Tampa
out.
Bay, no timeouts remaining. Second down for the Packers, up by 7. Fisher running left. Fisher will do his best and stay in bounds so the clock continues to run. We look at the day in pictures. A day that started with a lot of hope for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 5-0 in this stadium against the Green Bay Packers, but it looks like it's not to be here today. And the story against this Buccaneer defense, outside of these late fourth quarter and overtime collapses, has been trying to stop the power running game by the opposition, and they fall victim to it again here today.
Over 185 yards rushing today by the Green Bay offense. This offensive line has done a phenomenal job all day.
This is Fisher running right. That will bring up fourth down, and if we have the opportunity, you see that score in the top right-hand corner of your screen, 21-18 Oakland. We will switch our audience to the end of that game if we have the opportunity here as bonus coverage. Right now, it is fourth down, and instead of even toying with a long field goal try and ice it, with the clock winding down, and now they will try the field goal. Perhaps. If they miss it, Tampa Bay will end up with decent field position, and instead the little pooch punt. So no real surprise there, and it ends up in the end zone. And that was off the foot of Ryan Longwell, the place kicker. But with 25 seconds left, the Green Bay Packers will take their chances that with no timeouts remaining, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which offensively they've struggled most of this game anyway, can't get it down the field and into the end zone. Tonight on Fox, when Lisa runs for class president, Homer wants to run the dirtiest campaign ever. It's an all-new Simpsons, part of a full hour. Then Reese finds a secret diary on a new Malcolm, followed by Ron Howard's Arrested Development. It all starts with a new King of the Hill tonight on Fox.
I'm not so sure, with only gaining 10 yards in field position by punting it in the end zone, that I wouldn't have just given the ball to Najee Davenport and take my chances, see if maybe he could pick up the first down.
Johnson to the sideline, and the pass is caught by McCardell. And he hops out of bounds up to the 49-yard line with 17 seconds remaining.
Well, here we go, because now they're going to at least have a shot at a Hail Mary in the end zone. Big miss right here by Harris. Doesn't matter so much if you make the play, but you've got to get him on the ground with the clock stopped or with the clock running. They had no timeouts. It's a huge play. It's really a dumb play on his part. He didn't need to try and make that play. Allowed him to make the catch, get upfield, and get out of bounds. The worst of all worlds.
The ball at the 49-yard line. No timeouts remaining for the Bucs, down by 7. Down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Jurevich is the intended receiver, and had that ball been caught, there would have been no way for the Buccaneers to get downfield and spike it.
It would have been tight, and Green Bay really took a chance there. They brought the blitz, but Tampa Bay was ready for it. They blocked it all up, so you've got individual matchups down the field, and they weren't able to capitalize on it.
Joe, I'm with you on that one. What purpose does that play have? I believe that's game over if they complete it, and you're already in position to take your shot at the Hail Mary.
Now it's second down from the 49-yard line. Johnson heaves it. No one for Tampa Bay is there. And it is picked off by the Green Bay Packers' Darren Sharper. That's the way this game comes to a close. The Green Bay Packers get the victory, 20-13. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' playoff hopes may have just been dashed today as Brett Favre tries to fight back that smile, coming away with his first win ever in this stadium.
And you know they did it in Green Bay Packer fashion. Took them right down the field, 98 yards, and just bludgeoned them.
This is Joe Buck for Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, and Pam Oliver. So long from Tampa. Right now, bonus coverage, Vikings and Raiders. Let's join Sam Rosen and Bill Moss for the conclusion of that game.
Welcome those of you who are watching the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Chris Myers in Oakland, where the Raiders have led all the way. The Vikings have closed to within 3 points, but there's a challenge underway here as Dante Culpepper threw a pass that was apparently picked off by Rod Woodson with a diving effort. Bill Levy, the referee, has the decision.
After reviewing the play, there was no shot that showed the ball on the ground. Therefore, it is an interception. First down Raiders. Minnesota is charged their first timeout.
And that's the whole thing. There's not enough visual evidence from any angle that we have on replay that would overrule the ruling on the field. The ruling on the field was an interception. From all the angles shown, you can't really tell if the ball hit the ground or not, so the ruling stands.
That is 6 turnovers in the game for the Minnesota Vikings, who had 9 all season coming into play. 3 interceptions thrown by Dante Culpepper. He had 3 all season long. Rod Woodson with his second of the season. Tyrone Wheatley, who's rushed for over 100 yards, goes down to the 6-yard line. The story of the game, the Minnesota Vikings have killed themselves with turnovers.
That's the second play of the
Opening series, Philip Buchanan returned the interception for a touchdown. This was a fumble recovery. This was a fumble by Culpepper that was turned into a touchdown 1 play later. Buchanan intercepting in the end zone. Culpepper fumbled on his own. He fell to the ground and fumbled the ball.
In the red zone.
And here the interception by Rod Woodson. 3 fumbles lost for Minnesota, 3 interceptions thrown by Dante Culpepper.
And there's no way in the NFL that you can survive losing that many turnovers. And I don't care where you're playing, but on the road, forget about it. They're very fortunate that they're in this game at all.
See, the numbers, they tell the story as far as the costly turnovers. If you're +3 or better, it gives you a huge chance to win. If you're below the even mark, you're losing. The handoff by Rick Meyer to Tyrone Wheatley. He's knocked down by Henri Crockett. JB has got an update for us. Let's join him now.
Big day for Edgerrin James. 3 rushing touchdowns. Here's the third, 127 yards on the ground. Tony Dungy becomes the first coach to beat all 32 teams. Indianapolis victorious over the Jets. Back to Sam Rosen.
Indianapolis at 8-2 remains tied with Tennessee at 8-2 in the AFC game losing streak. They've lost 4 of those 5 games by 7 points or fewer. They're going with Rick Meyer for the rest of the season as their #1 quarterback. Rob Johnson is the backup. He was signed last week. As is the previous #2, Marcus Tuiasosopo.
And for the Raiders today, the story has been the offensive line and the running backs. I mean, they've just hammered the ball for a total of 185 yards on the ground. Rick Meyer, only a few passes given, but it's been pretty precise on all those passes.
They have to get to the 1 for first down. Meyer in pressure. Runs, crosses the line of scrimmage, dives. Whoa, he went up in the air and was flipped by Ken Urban.
Where's the spot going to be?
A yard short of the first down. Wow. That's a gutsy move.
Yeah, you know what that reminded me of? Remember that highlight you've seen of John Elway when he gets up in the air and spun around like a helicopter? That's you know what I'm talking about?
Guess what? He'll be on the highlights tonight.
This guy could be the next quarterback reclamation project, a guy that's persevered ups and downs in the league, and that's what I believe takes to play quarterback in this league anymore.
He came down hard on his back. Last time down here, just a couple of minutes ago, the Raiders had the same situation. They had a 4th and 2, and they went for it. Tim Brown dropped a short touchdown wide open in the end zone. Now they're going to put 3 on the board to make it a 6-point game. Janikowski puts it through.
Oh, wait a second. We got a challenge flag that came out. A challenge flag came out on the Raiders sideline before that snap got off.
The challenge by Oakland came out before the snap.
Right. And it can only be the spot of the ball.
That's exactly right. This will be Bill Callahan's 2nd and final challenge of the game.
Oakland is challenging the spot at the sideline on the 3rd down run.
And you know why he has to do this? You know, you're thinking, well, heck, they got a field goal out of it. What's the big deal? Because if it's a first down inside the 1, you know, their chances are they're going to score a touchdown and seal this game. But being at that spot where it is right there, where's the ball?
It looks about 1.5.
Okay, given that spot short of the first down forced them to line up and kick a field goal on 4th down with 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Now, if you get a bad kick or something goes wrong, you have the kickoff return to contend with. You have Randy Moss and that offense to contend with, and you're still under 2 minutes, so the Vikings get an additional timeout, being the 2-minute warning. So it was a wise decision to challenge that spot, just in case, by some slim chance, it was a miss site, and they can get that first down mark.